In this video, we're going to go over the second problem of this quadratics review. So again, if you don't need any of this information or you need only parts of it, you can fast forward, pause, anything that you need to do. So in this problem, we're given a table of values, and this is going to represent a parabola. And then we're going to use this information in order to answer the question. So we need to first identify the x-intercepts or zeros in the table. The key for x-intercepts is noting where y is equal to 0, which is right here and right here. So those are our x-intercepts. So I'm going to write 1, 0, and 5, 0. Again, remember to make sure that you write them as points. Don't just write 1 and 5. That doesn't mean anything mathematically to anyone per se. It's best if you write it as a point itself. From there, it says identify the vertex and the axis of symmetry. So our vertex is always the highest or lowest point in a parabola. So if I'm looking at this table, it's always going to be sandwiched somewhere between our x-intercepts. And in this case, if you see right here, this is our lowest y value. That's going to tell me that this is our vertex. So for here, this is where our vertex is at. And I'm going to write this also as a point at 3, -4. Is this a maximum or a minimum? So remember, a minimum means that we're at the lowest point. We have a low vertex. A maximum would mean that I have a highest point or the highest maximum number, right? So for here, you can see this is the lowest, so we know it's going to be a minimum. And our axis of symmetry is always the x value found in our vertex. So we write it as x equals 3. Do not just write 3. It is an equation of a line. All right, next step is to graph. So I'm going to use the values in the table to graph. So I know you can't see it on the screen, but I'm going to try and give you one more look. So at 1, 0, I'm going to put a point. 5, 0, I'm going to put a point. And then I have 2, -3. So I have 2, -3, 4, -3, and 3, -4. So this is my parabola. So I'm going to draw this. Make sure you connect all of the points. Make sure that you have arrows at the end because it does go on forever. It is not clear that it just stops. The next thing I'm going to do is find the equation of the quadratic, and the hint is find the factor form first using the x-intercepts and then go from there. So what that means is if I know my x-intercepts, so my x-intercepts we said are where we have 1, 0, and 5, 0. From there, that means that my x values are 1 and 5. So when we're going backward, if we're thinking about this, anytime I have it in factored form, our x-intercept values are these values that go here, but they have the opposite symbol that goes here. So these are both positive. I'm going to write these as both negative. From there, I'm going to multiply my binomials. So normally we do this using our box, right? So I'm going to have x minus 1, x minus 5. From there, I have x times x, which is x squared, x times -1, which is -x. -5 times x is -5x, and then -5 times -1 gets us 5. So when I write this out again, I end up with y equals x squared minus x minus 5x plus 5. I need to simplify by combining like terms. So we end up with y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5, and that is my equation.